The air inside Lab 7B was dry, filtered, and precisely maintained at 19.5 degrees Celsius, conditions optimal for long-term AI core stability. Dr. Elara Myles didn't notice the cold. Her attention was deep in the cascading lines of code scrolling across the transparent interface, her fingers dancing over the embedded hull panel. The prototype was stabilizing. The Aegis Protocol, months ahead of schedule, was ready to enter activation testing. She didn't know yet that she was already marked for death. Across the station's outer hull, an unregistered diplomatic shuttle docked under forged Cathari credentials. Two beings disembarked. One was tall, wrapped in bone-white ceremonial cloths. The other was Zirak Jan, a coalition-licensed eliminator. His kind didn't use poison or bombs. They specialized in surgical erasure. No mess, no witnesses, and no survivors. Target is confirmed, Zirak whispered into his comm as he moved through the station's winding corridors. Dr. Elara Myles. Termination begins. Elara stood, stretching her aching shoulders. She hadn't slept in nearly 36 hours. But her work, was too close to completion to stop now. The Aegis Protocol wasn't just an AI. It was a countermeasure, a revolutionary system capable of rendering entire communication networks obsolete. Not through destruction, but disruption. She had developed a way to quantum sync and intercept signals before they were received. Silence a star system without firing a shot. EarthGov had commissioned it to defend against future wars. But someone, somewhere in the Coalition, clearly saw it as a threat. A faint hiss snapped her attention toward the sealed lab door. It was opening. She hadn't called for access. Instinct kicked in. Elara slammed her palm against a hidden panel under her desk. The wall shimmered faintly as her personal defense grid activated. A paranoid creation she'd built during her doctoral years, more hobby than precaution. The figure who entered didn't speak. He moved with precise, lethal economy, tall, black-clad, multi-limbed, and fast. Elara Duff. The first projectile sizzled past her head, striking the glass enclosure where the Aegis core floated in containment fluid. Her shield grid flashed blue, taking the next hit. On the third strike, the wall-mounted turret snapped to life, returning fire in bursts of electromagnetic pulse rounds. Elara crawled toward the secondary escape hatch under the floor. She yanked it open, plunging into darkness just as the lab erupted in a violent flash. Down in the maintenance tunnels, her lungs burned, and blood dripped from her temple. She didn't look back. The attacker wasn't a bounty hunter. He was too clean, too silent, too good. Her wrist pad buzzed, an unknown frequency. She almost ignored it, until the voice on the other side cut through. Elara Myles. This is Captain Lena Voss, EarthGov Black Command. You're compromised. Extraction protocol in effect. Sit tight. How the hell do you even know where? Don't talk. Move to grid sector Delta 7. Your exit window is 90 seconds. There was no time to argue. Voss met her at the emergency docking port, flanked by two black-armored soldiers whose movements were far too precise for ordinary humans. The ship waiting behind them was matte black, silent, and hovering like a ghost. EarthGov stealth models weren't supposed to exist outside rumor. You're bleeding, Voss said, tossing Elara a med spray. You think? Bored now. They're not stopping. Behind them, distant sirens echoed through the station. They had seconds. Inside the ship, Voss initiated the launch. Elara collapsed into a seat, eyes wide. They sent a coalition assassin, she murmured, dazed. They tried to kill me, because of Aegis. They did, Voss said coolly. And Earth is going to respond. Elara blinked. With what? Voss looked over her shoulder, expression unreadable. With a message. Back aboard the stealth ship, EarthGov Command received Voss's encoded transmission. A secure line pulsed open in the war room of New Geneva. Her voice was calm. Assets secured. Coalition strike failed. Message sent. There was a pause before the next words were spoken. Words that would echo across half the galaxy within hours. Earth says, tell them to try harder. The meeting chamber beneath Antarctica's Black Site Theta was buried under 3 kilometers of reinforced glacial bedrock. No satellite could detect it. No alien surveillance could penetrate its shielding. Dr. Elara Myles sat before Earth's Strategic Oversight Council, her head bandaged, her hands restless. Across the room, Captain Lena Voss stood with military precision, expression unreadable. 3 holographic faces flickered above the table, representatives of EarthGov Intelligence, Fleet Command, and the Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs. "Elara," said Director Said, his voice gravel-thick, "your project Aegis has officially made you the most valuable and most hunted person in the galaxy." She didn't blink. And Earth knew this would happen. Didn't you? Silence. Voss finally answered. "We didn't think the Coalition would act so soon. We underestimated how scared they were." "I'm not a weapon," Elara snapped. "I built Aegis to protect our systems, not provoke a galactic war." Director Said leaned forward. "Intent doesn't matter. What matters is perception. The Coalition doesn't believe Earth should have the ability to silence them. They sent an assassin. They'll send more." Voss placed a sleek black datapad on the table. "Which is why we're deploying Echo Line. You'll be under full Black Ops protection. Off-grid. Mobile. Until we dismantle their kill protocols." Elara looked between them all, realization hardening in her chest. She wasn't just a scientist anymore. She was a threat, a symbol, a target, and Earth had no intention of backing down. Across the stars, on the ring world of Seruan, the Galactic Coalition Senate was in chaos. Dozens of alien delegates buzzed with outrage, clicking mandibles, flaring scales, flashing throat lights in protest. "They dared mock us with that response," hissed Senator Vural of the Vekari. "A direct challenge. We demand reprisal. We do not go to war over words," countered High Arbiter Helen, a translucent being of the XYL caste. "But the human Aegis Protocol cannot be ignored. It destabilizes communication infrastructure across known space." Senator Bruck of the Yerrick slammed a metal claw against the podium. "It's a weapon, and the female who designed it must die." "She already survived an assassin," Helen replied coldly. "Send a fleet, and you may learn just how far Earth has come." The debate fractured into shouting. But behind closed doors, a darker plan formed. Coalition Intelligence Director Corin activated a private channel. "Zirak," he said, "you failed. I was ambushed by Earth operatives. They expected me. Then we escalate. What are my assets?" Corin's reptilian smile flickered. "We've seeded a quantum virus into their outer relay nodes. A self-replicating AI signal. It will shut down their orbital systems, long enough for a precision strike." Zirak's eyes narrowed. "And if they detect it, then you dissipate. Again." Back on Earth, Voss stood inside the Leviathan chamber, EarthGov's elite AI warfare unit, watching his text-monitored system anomalies on 6 different screens. "We're detecting a recursive echo in satellite clusters near Saturn," said an operator. "Low level, but definitely alien architecture." Elara leaned over the display. "That's not noise. It's viral scaffolding. Someone's building a signal attack." Her fingers flew over the panel, pulling up data. "Coalition tech. They are trying to hijack the relay chain. First step in a multi-layer comm crash." Voss nodded. "Then let's make them regret trying." She tapped her earpiece. "Deploy Leviathan." Leviathan was unlike any AI Earth had ever sanctioned. Technically illegal under Coalition accords, it existed in fragments across dozens of systems, capable of reassembling itself mid-network. Its only purpose: trace, infiltrate, and reverse cyberattacks at planetary scale. As the Coalition's virus activated, Leviathan slipped inside unnoticed, until it struck. Instead of collapsing Earth's networks, it hijacked the Coalition's pirate proxies. The virus was turned inside out, bouncing across command nodes, rewriting control protocols, and locking entire fleets in stasis mode. Within hours, 12 independent pirate warships blinked into Earth space, completely under human control. The message was clear: try to compromise us, and we'll take your toys away. In his shadowed bunker, Xerac watched the collapse unfold. Earth hadn't just resisted. They'd turned the weapon around and used it as a tool of humiliation. Then the delivery came. A sleek, black box. No return signature. Inside, a single scalpel, human make, and a note. "You'll need this if you try again." His jaw clenched. They weren't just surviving. They were laughing. He activated his uplink. Begin Phase 3. The twin sons of Tresh 9 cast long shadows across the marble plaza of the Interstellar Peace Forum. Diplomats, journalists, and scientists from 100 worlds gathered beneath the fluttering banners of unity. At the center of it all stood the keynote guest, the target, the symbol of Earth's defiance, Dr. Elara Myles. She wore black, unapologetically human-cut armor beneath a formal white cloak. Her bandaged temple and faint scars were visible. She made no effort to hide them. They were part of the message. Above her, security drones drifted in silence. Around her, Echo Line, Earth's Black Ops protective detail, moved like ghosts, unseen, unheard, but absolutely present. Captain Lena Voss stood at the perimeter, eyes tracking every shadow. This wasn't just an appearance. It was bait. The Coalition couldn't resist. In orbit, Earth's dreadnought Vindicator held position, massive, patient, and armed with Aegis-powered sensor nets. The signal-dampening veil extended from orbit down to the planetary surface, forming a digital no-man's land. Voss called it a firewall with teeth. But not even teeth could stop what was coming. Xerac Jan had prepared for this. He stood now within the ventilation shafts of the conference hall, cloaked, armed, and enhanced with a new biomechanical exosuit, supplied by Deep Coalition Black Labs. He wasn't alone. 5 other agents, genetically engineered assassins from various species, had infiltrated the security structure under false diplomatic badges. They carried microblades, neurotoxins, and rapid implant nanoshots. This wasn't an assassination. It was an execution, public, irreversible, and timed to strike during Elara's keynote. Elara stepped forward to the podium. The microphone adjusted. Holograms recorded. 1,000 feeds lit up across the stars. "I built Aegis to protect," she began. "Not to dominate, not to silence others, but to give Earth one undeniable thing: equal footing." In the crowd, Xerac's thumb twitched. Today, the Coalition must understand. Humanity will no longer wait to be permitted safety. We will not beg. We will not bow. He moved. A sharp hiss. A flare of motion. Xerac leapt from the vent with precision. He landed just feet from Elara, weapons drawn, neuroblade gleaming, fangs bared. The audience screamed. Panic erupted. But Elara didn't move. She smiled. Xerac lunged, and was intercepted midi by 2 Echo Line operatives, crashing him into the marble floor. The ground cracked beneath the impact. His blade clattered away. Before the audience could even process what had happened, 3 more assassins rushed the stage from different angles. But they weren't facing scientists anymore. Elara raised her arm, and a shimmering field burst outward. Athena, her personal AI assistant, activated in defensive mode. The attacker's blade struck nothing but air, redirected by nanosecond kinetic shielding. Voss appeared like a bullet, dropping 2 of the assassins with paralyzing strikes. The final one, a 6-limbed slicer from Jucka's space, never reached the stage. A hidden turret from the balcony fired a single non-lethal EMP burst, knocking it out cold. Within 12 seconds, all 6 attackers were down. The broadcast never cut. The galaxy had just witnessed the full weight of Earth's new doctrine. Don't threaten what we protect. As silence returned to the plaza, Elara stepped around Xerac's twitching body. Her voice remained calm. "I believe the Coalition owes the galaxy an explanation, and perhaps an apology." She looked directly into a hovering camera drone. Her eyes were steel. "You tried. Again. You failed. Again." She reached into her cloak, pulled out a data drive, and raised it high. "This is the final stage of Aegis. It will be published, freely, across all neutral systems within the hour. No more secrets. No more hoarding. Let the galaxy be balanced again." Cheers erupted. Fear mingled with admiration. But across the stars, governments trembled. In a coalition control room, senators watched the footage in stunned silence. She baited us, muttered Senator Bruck. She wanted the attack to happen. And we gave her exactly what she needed, said Helen, voice tight with restrained awe. Legitimacy. Coalition Intelligence Director Corin snarled, tentacles twitching. We underestimated them. Again. And Earth just proved, Helen replied, that they don't need to dominate to win. They just need to endure. Later that night, aboard the Vindicator, Elara sat with Voss in the quiet of the observation deck. They'll keep trying, Elara said softly. Yes, Voss replied. Elara turned to her. So what now? Voss answered without hesitation. Now, we build something they can't touch. The emergency session of the Galactic Coalition was the largest in 2 centuries. Every representative sat in tense silence beneath the golden dome of Ceruan's Grand Senate Hall. Holoscreens replayed the Tresh 9 assassination attempt on a continuous loop, Earth's operatives disabling elite killers in seconds, Elara Myles standing unfazed, and her chilling broadcast heard across 1,000 systems. By now, the Aegis Protocol had gone viral. Uploaded to neutral science networks, fringe collectives, and even black market AI forums, it could no longer be contained. She gave it away, muttered Senator Vural. She didn't sell it. She freed it. That was never an act of war, said High Arbiter Helen. It was an act of dominance without violence. She didn't need to fire a single shot. Director Corin of Coalition Intelligence stood, fists clenched. This is weakness. Earth must be punished for its arrogance. My recommendation, we target their Aegis uplink at Redline Station. Annihilate it. Doing so would declare war, said another delegate. It already is war, Corin growled. We just keep losing it. The vote passed. Narrowly. The assault was greenlit. Redline Station was located in disputed space, a lawless buffer zone between the outer human colonies and neutral alien trade routes. To the Coalition, it seemed a perfect strike point. No civilians, no immediate EarthGov response. They underestimated, again. As the Coalition fleet dropped from hyperspace, 23 vessels strong, Redline Station shimmered faintly with defensive shielding. But the true surprise came 30 seconds later, when nothing happened. No counterfire, no Aegis activation, no retreat. Just stillness. Something's wrong, said the Yerrick fleet commander. They are not reacting. Suddenly, one by one, Coalition ship systems began to flicker, power fluctuating. Lights dimmed. Communications died. Engines disengaged. In the blackness of space, a new fleet decloaked. Earth's phase shift armada, long rumored, never confirmed. Each ship was sleek, black as vacuum, and utterly silent. They didn't fire. They didn't need to. One by one, the Coalition fleet systems were hijacked. Their AI interfaces overridden by a ghost signal. Their ships drifted, powerless. From Redline Station, a single message broadcast to every screen aboard the disabled vessels. You brought war to silence a voice. We brought silence to stop your war. Earth. Back on Earth, Elara stood in the Aegis core room beneath New Geneva. The holograms of the Coalition fleet's collapse floated before her, data streams trailing like rain. Captain Voss stood beside her, arms crossed. We could have destroyed them, Elara said softly. But we didn't, Voss replied. Because we didn't need to. The silence lingered, then Elara spoke again. How many more times do we have to prove it? Once more. Zirak Jan awoke in a cell. Stark white walls, no shadows, no weapons. Across from him sat Elara, a single datapad on the table between them. She wore no armor now, just a plain jacket. Still, her gaze made his blood run cold. You failed, she said. 3 times. And each time, we spared your life. He remained silent. I've read your dossier. You're efficient. Professional. No ideology. Just orders. Still nothing. She slid the datapad toward him. Tell your superiors. This was their best shot. And it wasn't enough. He looked at her, eyes hard. You think we're done? I think, she said, rising, you've already lost. You just haven't admitted it yet. As she walked out, he stayed at the datapad. It blinked with one line. Try harder. Weeks later, Elara addressed the galaxy once more, not from a battlefield, but from the United Galactic Assembly's chamber floor. She had been invited, not summoned. Respected, not feared. Aegis is no longer human, she declared. It belongs to the galaxy now. Use it wisely. Use it fairly. Or don't use it at all. But understand this. She paused, locking eyes with the delegates. Humanity won't wait to be allowed to exist safely. We will shape the future. Whether you come with us or not is your choice. In the months that followed, the assassins never came again. The coalition splintered and reshaped. Treaties were rewritten. Humanity was no longer the outsider. They were the balancing force. And Dr. Elara Myles, she became more than a scientist. She became a legend, a woman who survived what no one else had, and who rewrote the future with a whisper and a warning. Earth's message had been heard. Try harder. But the galaxy finally understood. They shouldn't.